Jag så jättearg. Svenska är dålig. Jag vill prata perfekt svenska. Jag har ingen aning varför det är så dåligt. Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and my Swedish sucks. Alright, so I thought it would be fun to go on this one and talk about the struggles I have with learning the Swedish language. My plan, because my plan is to be fluent in 3 months, which is going to sound insane, but I feel like I can do it. Now first, my Swedish has kind of gone up and down. The best it ever was, I was working in a Swedish school, and everything was like a Swedish environment, and I kind of taught in Swenglish, but I had to speak a lot of Swedish, and there were a lot of students that only could speak Swedish. And then what I also learned is that they have the patience. Like, kids have so much patience to listen to you learn, and they're almost used to hearing people learning Swedish and talking, so they're less judgmental. Where like here in Sweden, like you'll seriously, like when I first came to, like I would work so hard to learn Swedish, like so hard. And then I go in and I would speak somewhere in Swedish, like I thought about everything in my head, person automatically switches to English. And in the beginning I felt like, oh, thank God I can just take it in English. But now I'm just like, you feel crushed, like in my soul. I'm just like, man, that hurts. I remember when I used to get like, when I used to shop for snus, I would go into a place, and especially if it was like an old Swedish guy, I'd walk in there and go, hey, kan jag få en dosa granit vit, tack? That was the snus I got. And the guy literally looks at me like I'm speaking Korean. And I'm sitting there, you know, trying to stay in Swedish, and then finally I just got to point to the thing. Man, that is like the worst feeling in the world when you're walking out of there. But I've discovered the secret, y'all. The secret is this, and I do it more and more now. When somebody switches to English on me, if they do it too, you look them dead in the face, and you speak Swedish back to them. Yeah, absolut. Nej, jag behöver inte. And you just give them that death stare, especially the Swedes. You let them know, hey man, I speak Swedish, yo. Like I had to go to Migrationsverket today. Automatically the guy looks at my passport and he's like, speak in English to me. That's what I did. I gave him the death stare. I might have walked away, he might think I'm a little bit crazy, but you know what? He'll think twice again before speaking English to me. Eller hur? So if somebody does that to you, just realize, in most cases, they're probably even just trying to be helpful on top of it. But if you're trying to learn Swedish, I understand that the struggle is real. But you just gotta stick with it, and you gotta stay with it. Now here's my goal with Swedish. Like, I don't wanna just sit here in front of the camera, speak Swedish to you, like rehearse it, make sure it looks perfect, come up here and talk. Everybody over there is like clapping for me, giving me high fives, you know, making me feel really good. No. I wanna be able to like truly speak Swedish in the moment. I want to like, maybe one day I'll be famous, I don't know. One day I'll be famous and someone wants to interview me here in Swedish and I can interview with them. I want to be like on the Swedish version of like Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? Sitting back there and speaking Swedish to everybody in a room and we're going back and forth. I want to be able to express myself because I can't speak Swedish but I sound like a 5-year-old, right? I can't have really deep conversations. If you want to know this, you know, my favorite color is blue or how old I am or what's my phone number, I can tell you those things, but I want to have deep conversation with people in Swedish because sometimes things don't translate perfectly to English and then vice versa. Like I might explain something to someone in English, but it would have more meaning if I said it in Swedish. Not to mention there's just your Swedish friends or your significant other. You want to be able to tell them how you feel about them in Swedish. And then on top of all of that, if you don't speak Swedish perfectly, you're not in the culture. You know, like I'm pretty much a Swede except for my language being perfect. And, you know, I'm not always there. I'm not always in the group. I can feel like an outsider sitting in. And Sweden's already a pretty lonely country. To feel lonely like that on top of that sucks. So it's not something that I want to experience either. And it's just the way it is. I don't think people mean to single people out. I'm not saying anyone's doing that with me. I'm just saying that, like, you got to know the language. You got to speak the language, especially if you want to get into society. So that's what I'm doing right now. I want to be able to have those conversations with people. Tell them how I'm feeling. I also want to be able to cuss somebody out in Swedish. You know, if somebody makes me mad, I want to let them know I'm mad in Swedish and be able to insult them in Swedish. But mostly be a nice guy and compliment people in Swedish, of course. But I think that would be cool as well. So my plan is this. My Swedish isn't so far off as far as understanding. It's mostly the speaking to me. But what I'm going to do is, I'm studying Swedish intensely every single day. My goal is to be fluent by January, and then I want to take an advanced language course because I have a lot of Swedish materials and everything else. I'm going to focus on speaking it. But, you know, they say you need like 2,000 words to be fluent in Swedish, and I feel like I'm kind of close to that 2,000 mark. It's just a matter of connecting those words and putting them together in my brain so that I don't have to think about it so much. So I'm telling you guys this here because like this is what has to happen. I'm putting this on video because you guys are going to be looking at me in a few months and be like, damn son, that guy really speaks some good Swedish. And like, jättebra, you know, and you know, skit bra man, good job for you. So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what my plan is to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to stay focused. It feels good to say that my Swedish sucks because I feel like in anything, if you're struggling at something, if you're like, yeah, dude, I'm not good at that. I need to get better at that. Then you can just let it off and move forward because it's not, my language isn't where I am because I don't care. It's just been a bit of a struggle for me. And then sometimes I always struggle a little bit with learning a language because I have like a little bit of dysgraphia, some issues with grammar and writing, which makes that very difficult for me. And sometimes when I try to study Swedish in a course, it takes me back to like when I was a kid, and I struggle with that, and I can get all these negative emotions. So the final thing I'm going to do is pick a Swedish series and start binging that right away. I was going to go on Netflix first. I was thinking about doing like Snabba Cash, but if you guys have any suggestions below, let me know. I thought that would be a great way to learn as well, because I want to be able to say the slang words in Swedish too, you know? I don't want to be some stiff dude, you know, just sitting around like talking all proper all the time. That's not me. Like, I like to be fun. I like to have a good time. So I'm looking forward to it. I feel like the Swedish is going to get there very quickly. The first step to admitting you have a, the first step to fixing anything is admitting you have a problem, and now we're going to fix it. That's what I got. So if you watched this video, if you liked it all the way through and you want to follow my journey or you just enjoy me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like this kind of content, you like when I'm a little bit out there, a little bit more bare with my personality and trying to be goofy, smash that like button for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey,